Yao knows what it's like to make a passionate plea to God.
I got really desperate and I basically told God, I don't want to die in Iraq. I'm going to make a deal with you. If you can get me out of Iraq alive, when I come back to central Wisconsin, whatever you want me to do, I will do it for you.
Specialist Yao Yang went to the Sunni Triangle in Iraq in 2004. He enlisted with the Wisconsin National Guard in 2002 after being moved to do something after 9/11.
How dare these terrorists come to destroy our country? We have good, loving people, and so I need to defend the freedom of this country.
Yao wasn't yet an American citizen when he enlisted.
I signed up to really defend America from the terrorists because I just know that there are good Americans. And so on my behalf, my patriotism is not based on a piece of paper, but what's in my heart. And so in my heart, I loved America, and so that was my way of giving back.
It wasn't the first time war would shape the trajectory of his life. Yao was born in a refugee camp in Thailand in 1980. His family had escaped Laos, where the Hmong people were being persecuted after the Vietnam War. Yao's 3 older siblings died from poor health and malnutrition. He thought about them a lot. Why did they die, and why did I live?
We came to the United States in 1987, and so we were a really poor family. We didn't have anything.
Yao and his family came to Wisconsin as refugees with legal resident status. They would have to navigate a new country, culture, and language from scratch.
I first met Yao in the fall of 1990. He was a 2nd grader. His family had just recently moved from Thailand, and he was in my ESL class.
Teacher Ann Merrifield took Yao under her wing, becoming his mentor.
I would pick up Yao and his 2 brothers and we would go to a farm or, just the everyday things that other kids already had experienced. He was so thrilled and just loved every single minute of everything we did.
The first time having Christmas presents was because of her. And so I grew up knowing that there were good Americans that just gave regardless of whatever skin color that you wore.
As Yao got older, he managed to stay in touch with the teacher who showed him so much kindness. He even saw Ann before deployment, in case he didn't make it back.
I was only one person out of hundreds of thousands of soldiers, but if I could just be one soldier to make America better, to me, it was a great honor to be able to serve my country and to try to make America a safer and a better place for our future, and especially, having gone overseas to secure a better future for the Iraqi children. I was boots in the ground in foreign soil in Kuwait on Thanksgiving's Day of 2004. That was just a memorable day. It's just kind of like you have all these mixed emotions because you're in a foreign country. You don't know what's going to happen. You're going to be going into a war, and yet it's Thanksgiving's Day, and you're like, I'm not sure if I have too many things this year to be thankful for.
2 weeks into his deployment in Samarra, Iraq, his friend died from a bomb planted in the street. Yao was standing 10 yards away from Staff Sergeant Todd Olson at the time.
For being a 24-year-old, you think that you're just immortal, that you're going to live forever. And so I realized, with the passing away of my squad leader, that I had a pretty high probability of also not making it out of Iraq.
Every day, Yao prayed and promised God that if his life was spared, he would make his life count. This church is Yao's fulfilled promise to God, conceived on the battlefields of Iraq. When Yao returned home, he started this church with one goal: that people from all ethnicities and cultures can worship together.
Martin Luther King says it's appalling that the most segregated hour of America is on Sunday morning. And yet I'm like, church should be the most loving institution, but it's still the most segregated. And if we all believe in one God, we should be able to worship just in one church.
Now he's created ministries for people who are homeless and those who are struggling with addiction. Yao's life may have been shaped by war, but he's managed to remain full of love and kindness.
The way that I combat and try to get over my PTSD is I could continue to dwell on the negatives, but I'm trying to focus on more positive things so that my mind doesn't continually go back to all those negative war scenes and war experiences.
Yao is a refugee, a soldier, a pastor, an American who's devoted his life to helping as many people as he can.